in tiny feet.
Yes, thank you.
My turn?
Absolutely.
Okay. I think it's appropriate that we had a moment to remember Commissioner Neese. Sat on the first county board that I worked for. I'd like to thank all the members of that board, living and past, for their taking a couple of minutes, some time to put some trust in me and allow me to take over this job. I went from a large department. It's kind of funny when you think about it as a department head versus just being the veteran service officer, because it was basically a department of one employee, my secretary, who had been there for a number of years, Leanne Pick, and the drivers weren't even considered county employees at that time. And now we've got 10 drivers driving 4 regular vans and a handicap van. There's a strong staff of 3 service officers, and their goal is to keep those parking spots filled all the time, whether that's people coming into our office or coming to use any of the other changes. Lots of changes in that time, going from pretty much a straight paper operation to almost nothing but digital things now. And again, throughout that period, the support of subsequent boards and the staffs of the other departments in helping us come up with what I think is one of the most efficient collaborative operations in the state. There's a lot of counties where the service officers are kind of off by themselves, but here the integration with auditor, treasurer, recorder, environmental services, health and human services across the board, even getting things like defibrillators from the sheriff's department and working things out with them, since they're the eyes and the ears of the county throughout the night, and a lot of times we'll get calls and referrals for them. So it's been a great collaborative effort, and I've always appreciated that support. And you can be sure that the people you have on board are just going to take it to the next level. I know as a newbie learning the thing from the ground up, made lots of mistakes early on, and those didn't stop, but you continued to learn throughout the career, and it's nice to see that the next generation is ready to go. And hopefully, other than coming and picking up my tabs and plates and renewing my passport, you'll still see me around. I'm not going anywhere. Thank you so much.
Jim, thank you. You've been a member of the community, not only in your role here, but all across the board, and it's been an honor to meet you and work with you. The only story I'll share real quick is in my role as the sergeant on the police department, I work at crazy hours, and Jim would too. I'd see him out at Hats, making sure the vans were ready to go for the next morning, and he was there probably more than he should have been, but thank you for your dedication.
Jim, you've always been just absolutely so solid in taking care of our county's veterans, and I know you wouldn't be retiring unless you made sure that that staff behind you was ready to take that leading role to continue to care for the program that you've done such a great job of building. So thanks for that. And I know, and even in our meetings, department head meetings, you've always been that voice of structure and proper process to getting something done. So thanks for that as well. You will be missed.
As well, I'll echo what they've said, and a West Pointer that you are, you've kept up with what you believed in, and I think you've done a great job. And our administrator brought up those parking signs, and it didn't strike me till this morning, till you looked at them, how nice that was. I wasn't sure that was something that just me, but I'm glad we could do that. That'll be something that reminds us of your years here. So thanks, Jim.
Jim, thanks for the service you've given McLeod County and the service you've given our country as well. I wish you the best in retirement, and hopefully we'll see you around.
Jim, as a veteran myself, I'd like to thank you for all the personal things you've done over the last 10 years myself. Thank you very much for your service.
And our time was certainly brief, but I've enjoyed getting to know you, and we'll carry your work forward. Just as we were talking in the back hall, I was trying to say goodbye, and Jim was talking to me about ideas for us in the county moving forward. So, and that's, I mean, that's awesome, and we'll carry it forward. So thank you.
Photo with the board. Today's the day. Three. 1, 2, 3. Awesome. Thank you.
We all have a face for radio, so.
Yes. And then those of you that are here as recognition, I think we'll do a quick photo up here, if that's all right. So thank you. Thank you, everybody.
I guess all the different ones for my next year. Awesome. Thank you. Great. Daryl, pass me an extra cup or two, would you?
The cups are behind the car.
Oh, I didn't see, sorry.
All right, moving on through our agenda this morning. Next item, mic on. There, now we're good to go again. Consideration of agenda items. Do we have any additions or corrections to today's agenda?
Move agenda, Mr. Chair.
Second.
We have a motion by Schmal, second by Luthens to approve today's agenda items. Is there any discussion? We'll then proceed to vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. Consent agenda.
Mr. Chair, I have a removal from the consent agenda. Item N. The rezoning 23-01 request from Randy Redmond of Remax Results to be removed, please.
Remove. Okay, we're removing item N.
Are we addressing it somewhere else on the agenda, or just removing it completely from the agenda?
It's just being removed,
Just
correct?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. If I may, we're just asking for that to be removed. There's a variance request needed for that item, and that variance request will be heard in June. And if that variance request passes, this item will be added back onto the July agenda.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so we're removing item N. Is there any other changes to the consent agenda or looking for a motion to accept?
No other changes, Mr. Chair.
Okay.
Make motion to accept that.
Motion by Luthens, second by
Yes, second.
Kruger. Any discussion? Seeing none, we'll proceed to vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. Item 4, moving into administration. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Item A, asking for consideration of approval of the appointment of Cassandra Kerrigan as McLeod County Veteran Service Officer for a 4-year term until June 6, 2027. This is Cassandra's first VSO appointment, and per Minnesota Statute 197.60, the first 12 months of the initial appointment is the probationary period.
Mr. Chair, move to approve.
I would second, Mr. Chair.
We have a motion by Commissioner Nagel, second by Commissioner Kruger to approve the appointment of Cassandra Kerrigan as McLeod County's Veteran Service Officer, a 4-year term until June 6, 2027. Any discussion? We'll then proceed to vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you. Item B, swearing in of Cassandra. So you'll repeat after me. Yes. I, Cassandra Kerrigan,
I, Cassandra Kerrigan,
swear and affirm
swear and affirm
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the state of Minnesota,
and the state of Minnesota,
that I will be diligent, faithful, and impartial,
that I will be diligent, faithful, and impartial
in the performance of the duties
in the performance of the duties
as McLeod County Veteran Service Officer
as the McLeod County Veteran Service Officer
to the best of my knowledge and ability,
to the best of my knowledge and ability.
so help me God.
So help me God.
And you'll sign here.
Mr. Chair?
Yes.
Before you guys, I know it's nice to stand behind the podiums, but would you, before you move away from each other, just face each other out in the open and look at each other, and so we can get us, somebody grab a picture and forward it to me.
Okay, and then the next item, Cassandra will give an introduction to the Veteran Services staff. I believe you all know her, but maybe just a brief history.
Sure.
For anyone who does not.
So we have two new assistant full-time service officer now. Brianna Lauer. She filled in for me in 2021 while I was deployed and then went up to Crow Wing County. I gladly stole her back. So she's coming in with nearly 5 years of experience. So she's already hit the ground running and has a full appointment slots already. And then Grant Christensen is our brand new service officer who just started last Tuesday. A little green behind the ears, but we will get him up to speed and he will soon be serving our great veterans in McLeod County as well. So thank you.
All right.
Any pictures from that end of it, or we just what they did?
I think if we could take a photo with you, Cassandra, with the board, it would be nice if you will come up. And if Grant and Brianna want to come up too.
I think so.
Yeah.
Pretty big day here, so let's put it in pictures.
Doesn't matter.
We'll just stand like this.
Let us know if we're.
This looks great.
Doug, move over just a little
Me?
bit.
This-
Paul, come forward. There you go.
Find a window.
1, 2, 3. Hold on one second, sorry.
Smile, Doug.
1, 2. So can we take one shift this way, just a little bit towards the flag?
22 years from now, we want this picture to look really good when we're all done.
Okay, here we go. Sorry, one more. 1, 2, 3. You guys are great.
Brianna, why don't you have to go up between the flags while they're all up there?
What is she
I think that's what you want, but
All of us?
Squeeze in between.
Center the flags. Yes.
Okay.
Great. 1,
Jim fixed the flags for us.
thank you very much.
Congratulations. I'm pleasantly surprised to see, I didn't think she'd get this.
Congratulations, Cassandra. Okay.
Well, we're doing a lot of pretty great things here so far this morning, and we're going to keep it going. So we'll have Liz Danielson come forward with our community spotlight today.
Good morning. I'm here today with Carl Pinsky of Plato Woodwork as part of our Community Spotlight series that we started this year. Celebrating its 130th year in business, Plato Woodwork employs 197 employees at its Plato, Minnesota location. Since 1893, Plato Woodwork has earned its reputation as one of America's finest custom cabinetry manufacturers and fashion leaders. The master craftsmen of the Pinsky family have owned and actively managed their thriving company in the small Midwestern community of Plato, Minnesota for 5 generations. Carl is here today to share with us about his business and some highlights related to their 130th anniversary this year. Thank you.
Thank you, Liz. And thank you, Commissioners, for allowing me to go in the spotlight today.
Welcome, Carl.
As you can see on the screen, we're going to run through a few things, a little bit of history, and I promise you'll stay on schedule here. So on the screen now is my great-great-grandfather, who's the first generation, the start of our family business. On the right-hand side, you'll see a barn that was right between the county park and the Glencoe Airport. And that was the first barn built in McLeod County by our family. In the late 90s, we actually tore that barn down, restored everything, and we pulled a lot of the materials into my personal home and into the office to commemorate our family business. Currently, we have 197 employees, like Liz referred to. We do run a single shift. We run our office pretty much 10 or 11 hours a day because we do service both coasts, the East Coast and the West Coast, to hit the time zones. Currently, we are at 127,000 square feet. In 2021, we completed a 10,000 square foot addition. We're currently now completing a 8,000 square foot addition as well. That should be finished up here this month yet. Our annual employee recognition awards, unheard of these days, but our average tenure is 16.3 years. Especially when we've been hiring a lot lately because we're busy, so that number comes down. McLeod residents Diane Anderson, Greg Lemke, Daryl Undercheck, and John Beshi have all have at least 45 years of service with our company. Some of them are just retiring now. Our main market channels are independent showrooms and design build firms around the country. 60% of our work is large-scale remodels. Our largest market currently is the mountain states of Colorado, Montana, and Wyoming, as well as the eastern states of New York, New Jersey, and Pennsylvania. I'm the 5th generation owner and president right now. I'm happy to say my son joined us after college almost 3 years ago. I believe he sits on one of your county committees right now. So that's a big step toward the 6th generation of keeping our family business going. As a goal this year, which we're about halfway through it, we are on track for about a $32 million revenue year. Just to recap, that's up there now, 197 employees, 127,000 square foot facility, single shift. We sell through independent showroom and design firms. 5 generations going on 6, hopefully shortly. $32 million revenue goal for this year, and our average tenure is 16.3 years. As a thank you, I know you guys sit in a position that are thankless and sometimes, even unpopular. But we appreciate what you do for the county and the current direction and the preparation for growth that we're about to have. Thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Chair, I just want to note quickly that I've had the opportunity to work with Carl for many years in when I was in manufacturing, and also now with the county. And thank you for your service on our Economic Development Committee, and now with Mitchell serving on the Economic Development Committee. And also, of course, you've created such an asset for McLeod County and for Plato and beyond. You have employees from all over. And the things that you do for your community are wonderful. You're a modest person, Carl, but you're a strong leader, and your service in the community is recognized and greatly appreciated, and how you recognize all of your employees and treat them well. Thank you.
Mr. Chair?
Yeah.
Yeah, thanks, Sheila and Carl. We've been doing pictures this morning, and we maybe don't have to go through the full blown up. Could we get him in front? I mean, it is my district.
Probably more embarrassing, maybe just have them come back.
Whatever works, but I just like to.
That's all right. Let's do it.
Mr. Chair? Yep. I'd like to congratulate Carl on your family's longevity, and I wish you much success here in McLeod County and in Plato. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
You guys just want to get between the flags? I'll take it from right here if you want to turn this way a little bit. Come on in. Thanks.
We're going to wish, I mean, being the economic development part of this is new, I wanted to,
Yeah,
that's part of the reason.
Let's see.
Yeah, good exercise.
Moving on. Kevin Matthews, Sheriff's Office. So Kevin, you're very important, but you're probably not going to get a picture today. So,
That sounds great to me, thank you.
all right.
Here on behalf of Sheriff Langfeld, who is unable to come today due to being out of the office today. So we have a couple items to request for approval to purchase. The first one is item A on the agenda, and that's approval of purchase of 3 APX 6500 mobile radios from Motorola Solutions through Alpha Wireless of Mankato, Minnesota, for a total cost of $17,694.72. These 3 radios will be installed in our command post vehicle that was previously approved by the county board, and it will be paid from the American Rescue Plan Act funds of the general budget.
Board, anything?
We're already into the project, and we need to keep going with it, so I'll move to approve.
Second.
We have a motion by Nagel, a second by Luthens, to consider approving the purchase of 3 APX 6500 mobile radios using American Rescue Plan Act dollars. Any discussion? We'll proceed to vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you. Item B, consider request approval of ordering 5 APX consolettes, also from Motorola Solutions through Alpha Wireless of Mankato, Minnesota, for a price of $46,108.80. These consolettes will be used as a backup base stations to our armor talk groups that will be utilized in dispatch. They will also allow us to log and record our encrypted talk groups, which we're in the process of moving towards. This will be paid out of the county's E911 fund.
Move to approve.
Second.
We have a motion by Nagel, second by Kruger, to approve the purchase of 5 APX Motorola, 5 APX radios from Motorola Solutions using the E911 system fund. Any discussion on that? Seeing none, we'll proceed to vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Okay, thank you. The last item isn't any kind of purchase approval, but we did just wanted to highlight McLeod County did get a safety award through the Minnesota Safety Council. We applied for this grant, or I shouldn't say grant, but we've applied for this award for the last several years. We were fortunate to get an award this year for McLeod County Outstanding Achievement Award in recognition of excellence in injury prevention and performance in occupational safety for calendar year 2022. We have a certificate here that will leave with county administration that's signed by Governor Walz and also the President, Paul Austin of the Minnesota Safety Council. So we did invite several members of our safety committee. They were unable to attend today. So I'm just here on behalf of our employees and our safety committee and our department heads, our supervisors all across the county, really making McLeod County a great place to work and a safe place as well to work. So congratulations to all McLeod County employees on this award.
Okay, so that is a plaque that you brought with you today then?
Yes, we did get a nice little plaque or award here that we got that we have framed and everything here, so we can proudly display this as we need.
So originally I said, we're probably not going to take a picture, but you brought a plaque, so that changes things very quickly. So now we're gonna get your picture, Kevin.
Now
You
you
gotta bring the plaque, so
now you gotta eat your
bring
rose
the
good.
flags. So.
The county attorney's getting worked out.
Yeah, I guess so.
Did you get your picture taken?
Spencer, you're on the
Right in the middle, right in the middle of the flag.
I think we have this set now. I think I know exactly where to go.
Spencer's coming up because he's on your committee.
Oh, absolutely. Great.
We'll sneak in there by name then. Commissioner Schmaltz. There we go. All right. Oh, thank you for your work on this.
Thank you. Thank you. Thanks, Kevin.
Good call.
There's a lot of work, a lot of dedicated work to be able to bring that award here, Kevin, and that's under your authority to make sure that all that happens correctly, so thank you for that.
Yep, thank you.
Spencer, don't sit down. You're next. Did you bring a plaque today, Spencer?
I did not.
All right.
Good morning.
Morning. Go ahead with your item.
All right. Consider approving the purchase of an upgraded fire alarm system at a cost of $10,190 and a monitoring agreement at a cost of $35 a month from Summit Fire Protection for the Environmental Services Building. With the funds of the upgrade from the county building major repair budget 01115, and then the monitoring service from the Environmental Service Building budget 01114.
Mr. Chair?
Yep.
I had some questions when we set up the agenda. I think it's, obviously technology is changing, so that's part of it. And from my rough figures, it looks like it's actually a savings, plus it's a better system, so I'll move to approve.
Is there a second?
Second.
A motion from Kruger, a second by Luthens, to approve the upgraded fire alarm system at a cost of $10,190 and an agreement at $35 per month from Summit Fire Protection, funds coming from the Environmental Services Building budget. I just want to add that this is a cost savings, and this was uncovered by staff. And I think that just goes to show that we do have staff that are working to see the numbers and find better ways, better cost savings for us, even though we might not be able to catch them all up here. We do have some great staff that are out there working hard to see those dollars being put in the right place. So thank you very much for being able to catch that and bring that here today. Any further discussion? We'll then proceed to vote. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you.
Thank you.
Environmental Services, Mr. Tulecki.
Morning, everyone. Morning. One item for you this morning. Item A is to consider approving a request from the Winsted Lake Watershed Association to distribute up to $7,034.27 of the McLeod County Aquatic Invasive Species Funds for treatment of curly-leaf pondweed, with funds coming from the EIS budget. The total project cost of treatment is $7,815.74, so we require 10% match for the request, which the Lake Association will be responsible for. The Minnesota Department of Natural Resources surveyed the Winsted Lake on May 3rd, 2023, and identified 21.6 acres for treatment using Aquathol K. Funds would be dispersed at the time of receipts provided to McLeod County. This project is for the prevention and treatment of AIS into new water bodies and treating existing AIS. This request meets the requirements of the 2014 McLeod County AIS Fund, and staff does recommend approval for this request.
Mr. Chair?
Yes.
I'll move request, and I'll also state that, I think it's a good move to protect the waters and the water resources that we have in McLeod County, and appreciate the requests coming forward.
Is there a second?
Second.
We have a motion by Commissioner Schmalz, second by Commissioner Luthens, to consider approving the request from the Winsted Lake Watershed Association to distribute $7,034.27 from the McLeod Aquatic Invasive Species Fund. Any discussion? We'll then proceed to vote. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you. Public Works.
Good morning.
Morning.
Item A, consider adopting Resolution 23CB37 establishing County State Aid Highway 5. This is for the County Road 5 extension project in the city of Winsted. What this does is it allows us to use state aid funds for construction of the project and future maintenance. We right now have about 2.52 miles of banked county state aid highway mileage. This mileage will, for this project will be pulled out of that bank. It's about 0.59 miles.
Okay.
Mr. Chair?
Yes.
The whole action of the County Road 5 extension requires a lot of work. There's a lot of steps, a lot of cooperation between the county and the city of Winsted, and appreciate the efforts that are being made. And with that, I will move Resolution 25-CB-37.
Is there a second?
I'll second it.
We have a motion by Schmalz, a second by Kruger, to adopt Resolution 23CB37, the establishment of County State Aid Highway 5. Long time in the works. Any discussion on that? We'll then proceed to vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries.
All right, item B, we're back on the County Road 5 track here. Consider concurring with the recommendation to award the County Road 5 extension project to Northern Lines Contracting at a cost of $4,202,196.66. 5 bids were received on this project. They range from that $4.2 million to $4,532,531.86. The engineer's estimate was $4,017,518. The city council, the Winstead City Council, is going to award this project at their meeting this evening. That award is going to be contingent upon the board concurring with the award recommendation. It's also contingent on the Teddy grant, the economic development grant, being enacted, which will be hopefully at the next board meeting. We're waiting to get all of the reviews done on that. Also, a part of that is there was one parcel that we acquired right-of-way from. The board has approved that right-of-way agreement, but there was a request to change the second payment date from the end of 2024 to June 6th of 2024. So I would ask that you include that change in your motion.
Mr. Chair?
Yes.
For the same reasons that I stated previously, I will move concurrence with the request made and also with the additional early payment as specified by Public Works Director.
Okay. Is there a second?
Second.
We have a motion by Schmal, second by Kruger, to consider concurring with the recommendation of the award of County Road 5, as well as moving the final payment date up to June 6, 2024.
I'm sorry, June 1st.
First, got it. Thank you for that, Greg. June 1st, 2024. Any discussion?
Mr. Chair?
Yes.
Just to double check that those stipulations that Andrew went through be included in that motion. I mean, you had 2 or 3 of them there that just, to make sure they're in it,
Maybe we should just lay them out again.
Okay. So the conditions for award are the board's concurrence, the grant agreement being signed and fully enacted, and the easements being signed and closed on.
Okay, so we have the easements. We also need to recognize the grant application, the Teddy grant, correct?
Correct.
Within the motion, okay.
That would be my
Commissioners
motion,
Schmaltz and
Mr. Chair.
Kruger, you both agree with that?
My second
Okay.
as well, yep.
All right. Any further discussion on the motion? Okay, we'll then proceed to vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries.
Thank you.
Next up, Soil and Water, Ryan Freitag.
Good morning, everybody. Yes, I would like to request approval for a truck from Apple Auto for up to $55,000. It was approved by the McLeod Soil and Water Conservation District Board at our board meeting yesterday, and these funds will come from the soil and water budget.
Soil and Water budget.
Mr. Chair?
Yep.
I was at Soil and Water. This kind of was a late addition, and justifiably so, because their board met yesterday. And being on a board myself, I hate to read stuff that's been approved before it's been approved. So with that said, I would move to approve the purchase of their pickup.
Okay, is there a second?
I'll second, but I have some questions.
Okay. We have a motion by Kruger, second by Nagel, to consider the purchase of a 2023 Ford F-150 at a cost not to exceed $55,000, funds coming from the soil and water budget. Commissioner?
Totally support it, but can you utilize the state bid, and that would give us like some hard numbers here versus the
That's
not
what
to
we-
exceed 55,000?
That's what we had originally done through Spencer.
Yep.
And Ford only allotted 3 pickups to state bid this year. And so I believe Social Services, one of the departments upstairs, received a vehicle from Apple Auto, and they received vouchers from Ford in order to get the price down. And the original pickup, I just found out yesterday morning, the original one that we had a quote on for $54,800 $54,830 was no longer on the lot.
And that was the state bid price?
That was a state bid price.
Wow, things are changing.
So that's the reason at our board meeting, we capped it at up to $55,000. If we can find one cheaper, we will. But that was the number that we were given before. So, and I've already spoke with Nick from McLeod, and he has one of the vehicles that's on their lot, which is MSRP of 60+ thousand. With vouchers are able to get it down to below 55,000.
Are we married to Apple Auto, or is local still an option?
I do have an option locally. That is slightly less than 55,000, but that is trading an existing vehicle that we have in our fleet in. And that came in, trade-in of our 2014 Explorer for one of the vehicles sitting on their lot was $52,165.
Okay. I guess that's very important to me. And I don't know that that means anything more than just that at this point, but whatever you can do with that, we'll go from there. So, all right?
Mr. Chair?
Yep.
I apologize, Commissioner Nagel. We had this same conversation yesterday, I should have elaborated on it. The other trade was basically giving away their existing truck and not for any better price, so it was, I appreciate you bringing that out, so.
And we did also go to Fury Ford in Waconia, and that was slightly higher than the 55, to the tune of about 57,000, so.
Okay, any further discussion? Okay, we'll then proceed to vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you.
Going to county administration, begin with our calendars. Commissioner Nagel, you ready?
Ready enough. I guess we have too many pictures. I didn't organize it today. I'll just hit a couple highlights. Parks manager interviews went well. The staff organized that well. Some excellent candidates, and there's some additional interviews today, if I recall, where we'll continue with that today. We'll continue with that process and move forward with that position, and I'm excited for that. Fair Commission meeting where we'll discuss some projects in our workshop, and I'm excited to go over that with the board and discuss what that will look like. And then the only thing I'll bring up is that I had the honor and privilege to speak at Sheldon Neese's funeral. The family invited me to do that. I guess to represent the community and the board. It was an honor. Somebody reminded me that this was his chair, I think, for his entire 22 years.
It was.
While he was on the board, so that kind of gave me some chills when I found that out. But it was an honor and privilege to do that, and it was a well-attended funeral, which there was no doubt, but a great man and a great commissioner, so that'll be enough for today.
Okay, thank you for that. 23rd, we had our special meeting here on our easements for highway construction project. On the 26th, Crow River One Watershed One Plan. Basically, we're getting there. There's a lot of steps to getting that approved, but we're almost to the point where we can start to initiate some projects. Still a few months down the road. Fairgrounds Commission, I think Commissioner Nagel covered that, and that'll be good enough for today. Go ahead.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I've had several meetings during the last couple of weeks with Trailblazer on some structure to work with county and some billing issues. I also had an MRC board meeting. Main discussions was to, after legislature ended up on the ramifications of some of the rules and laws for outstate Minnesota. I also had some meetings with the Glencoe City Council on some issues with some housing in Glencoe. We had our special board meeting on the 23rd. I had an HRA meeting on the 31st. Again, there's housing issues with the prices of rent and cost of upkeep on how to hold our our housing rents affordable. CRF meeting that same day, basically just tying up some loose ends on where we're at with our funding. Agenda review on the 1st, and yesterday, as indicated in the purchase of the pickup from SWCD, I attended their board meeting. That's up to today. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks, Commissioner Kruger. Since our last board meeting on the 16th of May, we all attended the workshop here that was held after our board meeting. Then on the 17th, by invitation from AMC, I did what they called a difficult conversations workshop, which was put on by Braver Angels. Braver Angels is a nonprofit group that goes around and gives presentations in dealing with us as elected officials and county staff, giving us coaching on how to go through those difficult conversations that you will run into, whether you're on the street, whether you're here at the government center, or even at home in your personal lives. So I was fortunate enough to take part of that. On the Thursday the 18th, we had Union Negotiations Committee meeting here at the Government Center. Monday the 22nd, I participated in the MRC Zoom meeting that was held. Most of it was, the topic was, of the past legislative session that was just wrapped up in St. Paul. 23rd, we were all here for the special board meeting. 24th, another session wrap-up with AMC. 25th, I had a UCAP Joint Powers Board meeting in Redwood Falls. 26th, on Friday, I attended a CHB executive board meeting by Zoom, fortunately. 27th, I had the pleasure of going to Fort Snelling National Cemetery for an interment from a cousin of mine, and I will say if you want to see a lot of activity at Fort Snelling, go on Memorial Weekend. They were getting their preparation done and lots of activity. I believe that now they're up to about close to 185,000 graves now at Fort Snelling. So if you get a chance to attend, please do. And we're on Memorial Weekend, I do want to publicly say thank you to all those families and all those people who have sacrificed and served our country in any capacity which was available to them. Your service is much appreciated. Monday the 29th, we started out with the memorial commemoration in Lester Prairie. The speaker there was our legislative representative, Bobby Harder. She gave an excellent address. Our Senator Glenn Grunhagen also was in attendance at Lester Prairie. And the scheduling worked out to where I could go to Winsted and attend their memorial commemoration as well. And on their program, they had an excellent speaker give a wonderful address. It's our own Veteran Service Officer, Cassandra Kerrigan. I can't say enough about the address Cassandra made. I was thoroughly impressed and enjoyed being in the presence at that commemoration. Thank you, Cassandra, for your address and your message. And then I wrapped up the morning in Silver Lake, where Van Karg gave the address, and again, much appreciated for those who served our country. On Thursday the 4th, I attended Prime West Retreat, where they did strategic planning. It was held at the Arrowwood in Alexandria. And that brings me to today.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I had a Trailblazer meeting on the 18th and an MRC meeting on Monday. It was a Zoom meeting. Then we had the special meeting on the 23rd. Then that night, we had Buffalo Creek Watershed meeting. Then on the 24th, planning and zoning meeting in the morning. Started pretty early, had a big agenda. And then we went to, on the 31st, CHS Zoom, meeting in Glencoe here. And then also, I attended the Arrowwood Prime West meeting too. Thank you.
Hearing nothing? Okay. Sheila, back to you.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Item A, consider approving the transfer of $10,000 of local assistance and tribal consistency fund dollars to the general fund to be used for unbudgeted needs by the Veteran Services Office. McLeod County applied for but was denied a $10,000 grant through the County Veteran Service Office Operational Enhancement Grant Program. The $10,000 transfer of these funds from LATCF will compensate for the denied grant dollars and be used for unbudgeted veteran service programs that needs that improve outreach to the county's veteran population, assist in reintegration of combat veterans into society, and enhance the collaboration with other social service agencies or community organizations to reduce homelessness among veterans. The county, I believe, was given around $50,000 in LATCF funds that was coupled with the ARPA dollars with the American Rescue Plan Act. And the Coronavirus Relief Fund Committee met last week and thought that this would be a good use of those funds.
Mr. Chair?
Go ahead.
For the reasons given by the explanation of the grant, I would move to approve.
Second.
Second. We have a motion by Commissioner Kruger, second by Commissioner Luthens to consider approving $10,000 of local assistance and tribal consistency fund dollars to the general fund to be used for the unbudgeted needs by the Veteran Service Office. Is there any further discussion? We'll proceed to vote. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you. Item B, consider approving the collective bargaining agreement with the McLeod County AFSCME unit for the period of January 1, 2023 through December 31, 2025.
I move to approve.
Is there a second?
Mr. Chair, I'll second.
A motion by Nagel, second by Schmaltz to consider approving the collective bargaining agreement with McLeod County AFSCME. Any discussion?
Mr. Chair?
Yes.
As a member of the Union Negotiation Committee, I want to congratulate the professionalism that our staff exhibited through the whole process. It's a lengthy process, not just to this union, but to all of them that we're looking at today. And I can also say that there was a high level of professionalism exhibited by our union stewards and the union rep as well. So congratulations to everyone involved. Thank you.
Okay. Any further discussion? We'll proceed to vote. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you. Item C, consider approving the McLeod County Personnel Policy Paid Holiday Schedule edition of June 19th. On May 24th, 2023, the state of Minnesota adopted Juneteenth as a legal state holiday effective immediately. The Juneteenth holiday recognizes the abolition of slavery after President Abraham Lincoln issued the Emancipation Proclamation. The June 19th state holiday, you've been hearing about this for a while. It was set to go into effect on August 1st, 2023. So though we had written it into our union contracts during negotiations for 2024, when we were thinking it would be effective due to the ongoing legislation efforts and communications, they made a pretty quick change on May 24th and said it would go in immediately. Several of the collective bargaining agreements already had it on there. The one that you just approved had it on there. Those are things that we've been seeing since, last year. We've been expecting this for some time. And according to Minnesota statute, section 645.44, subdivision 5, no public business shall be transacted on any holiday except in cases of necessity and except in cases of public business transacted by the legislature, nor shall any civil process be served thereon. Allowable business includes emergency service, law enforcement, and other county services authorized provided on existing state holidays. It's a difficult item to bring to the county board because it does have a large financial impact in such a short period of time. It didn't allow us for time to plan from a budget standpoint. That's, you still have the cost of the county staff for a day without being able to provide the majority of our services. So if you have any questions about this item, please let me know, but we are looking for approval. Thank
Mr.
you.
Chair, in order to get through this, hopefully, professionally, I would make a motion to approve this to get to discussion.
And a second?
Okay, we have a motion by Kruger, second by Schmaltz to consider approving the McLeod County Personnel Policy Paid Holiday Schedule with the addition of Juneteenth. Discussion.
Mr. Chair, this is one of the things that, and lately in the number of our meetings that is coming up, it's probably not classified as an unfunded mandate, but it is a mandate nevertheless. We are required to give this day off. I'm not opposed to whatever it stands for. I'm the old guy up here, so I remember holidays when I was a kid, and they've changed dramatically. I have no problem having a day for whatever the cause of it is. I'm one of the few that I talked to that actually know what Juneteenth was. So I don't really want to go down that avenue, but as far as the taxpayers of McLeod County, an average day of our wages is $96,000. And I've had some tell me, well, you got to pay it anyway. Yeah, we do, but we get no productivity for the $96,000. And either it has to be made up somewhere or with hard work. I guess having said that part of it, we were looking for, this was coming down the pikes for '24, where we could have dealt with it, explained it. I don't think there was any alternatives, but we could have explored the reasons why we have to go into it this year. This gave us no time. I mean, this was not a budgeted day. So I guess what I'm trying to say to my constituency and McLeod County is that we're doing the best we can. And as far as the employees are concerned, I appreciate our employees. Just what you've seen this morning, I'm so happy with how we're conducting our business in McLeod County overall. So it has nothing to do with that. But this was mandated to us. I mean, it's not like I can go to a staff and say, well, you did a great job, we're going to give you some time off. No, that's not even a debate. It's not a leverage in negotiations because the day is there. It's mandated to go. So I can't keep just sitting here saying that everything's okay. I realize we have to go along with it. I had a lot of thought in this. I made the motion, and I'm going to stay with the board because it's not fair to have a split board and have constituents think that 2 people think they could do something about it and 3 couldn't. It's not fair. We have a good board that works together, but I didn't think I could leave this go without making a statement, and I hope I made some sense. I mean, there's other things going with this. The Family Leave Act, I mean, this is going to cost, elections have consequences, and this is going to cost us money. And I know we can get through it. I was hoping for some more time to work through this, but we have to deal the cards that we got. So any employee do not, or for the reason of the day, please don't put words in my mouth that I'm against that, because I am not. There's enough, you reach a point where there's enough days that we have to deal with and pay for. And I guess I'll leave it go at that. Thank you.
Mr. Chair?
Go ahead.
And thank you, Commissioner Kruger, for your statements and for putting some real numbers to what this actually means for McLeod County. I thought Sheila stated it well. With Labor Negotiations Committee, we were always consistent with our message. Our message had never changed, that Juneteenth would be on the table after the state made their action, and their first action was that it was to be applied in August of 2023, which would have been after the Juneteenth holiday. And then, like what was mentioned, state legislature reversed the decision and made it effective for 2023. So thus, with that criteria, we're in a position to move forward with our unions and offer the holiday as it's been mentioned. And I feel the pain that Commissioner Kruger has stated. I know that maybe our budgets weren't quite set, but we're playing the cards we were dealt with, and hopefully the public will see that as well. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Any other discussion? You guys have brought up some very good points. Thanks for that. Any other discussion? We'll then proceed to vote. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries.
Thank you. Item D, E, and F are all in relation to the last item you just approved. The law enforcement labor unions did not have Juneteenth included in their contracts. They are 3 of our 8 unions. So item D, consider approving the memorandum of agreement with law enforcement labor services non-licensed sergeants.
Move to approve.
And second.
A motion by Nagel, second by Schmaltz to consider approving the memorandum of agreement with law enforcement labor services, non-licensed sergeants. Any discussion?
Mr. Chair?
Yep.
I have the MOA in front of me. And again, it's stuff that if any constituent or member of McLeod County starts looking at it, you'll understand what we have to go through by mandate. And I wish it could be handled a little different than it is, but again, it is what it is. And the short time I had to go through all this, I see no chance to change it. It is what it is.
Okay, any further discussion?
Mr. Chair, I just want to note for Commissioner Kruger, because we had several discussions over the past couple of weeks about what would happen. I think what he's trying to add is the considerable cost that it took of mine and Hannah Schoflat's time, the consultations with a labor law attorney, the time with every of the 8 unions, all of that time, the time with the commissioners, with calling those who wanted some explanation, with County Attorney Hanch's time. It's a considerable amount of time that wasn't budgeted in addition to that $96,000 average cost of payroll per day at the county. And that is an impact, of course, on taxpayers that we just want to communicate because of the unexpected change. And I think that would wrap up the concern. It's all financially based. It's not about the holiday, so.
Okay, any further discussion? We'll then proceed to vote. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. Item E.
Thank you. Consider approving the memorandum of agreement with Minnesota Public Employees Association licensed deputies.
Move to approve.
Second by Schmaltz. Okay, we have a motion by Kruger, second by Schmaltz to consider approving the MOA with Minnesota Public Employees Association licensed deputies. Is there any discussion?
Mr. Chair?
Go ahead.
Just for the record, I have the same opinion of all these memorandums of agreement, but for McLeod County's board, it's the best thing to do to stay together on how we're handling this, so.
Okay, thank you. Any further discussion? We'll then proceed to vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Item F.
Thank you. Consider approving the memorandum of agreement with Minnesota Public Employees Association Communications and Corrections Officers Unit.
Move request, Mr. Chair.
Is there a second?
Second.
We have a motion by Schmal, second by Luthens to consider approving the MOA with Minnesota Public Employees Association Communications and Corrections Officers. Any further discussion? We'll then proceed to vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Mr. Chair, I just want to note that then that means that we will, as a county, be closed on June 19th. We'll communicate that in the media and on our website, our social media, and with our employees. The department head group has done a good job of staying in touch with theirs, and Hannah will be communicating right after this, your vote that you just made for people to arrange meetings and otherwise. Attorney Hanch, though, can you give any update? Was there court dates and such scheduled, and where the public should go if they have questions on that?
Yeah, I mean, there were full court calendars. Court administration has already been taking action to reschedule those, so notice should be going out, but people should contact McLeod County Court Administration if they have any questions on that, for sure.
Thank you. And oftentimes when people try to contact court administration, they contact county administration and they leave voicemails. So make sure that when you're looking for that on our website or call us, court administration is not the same as county administration. So if you have court at 9 in the morning and you're calling at 8:45, make sure you're calling the right place. Thank you. Item G, notification of board workshop. Note that it's at 3:30 p.m. on Tuesday, June 20, 2023, here at the McLeod County Government Center, 520 Chandler Avenue North, Glencoe, Minnesota, before our annual evening meeting that is in June. We will not hold a workshop if we don't have any items, but I believe that we will. So we have scheduled that in the case that we do. If not, Stefan, is the meeting at 4 p.m.? 4:30 p.m. following the workshop. Thank you.
Okay, do we have any open forum or press relations in front of us today? Anyone? Seeing none, we'll then move on to, we're looking for a motion to recess.
So move.
Second. We have a motion by Luthens, a second by Kruger to recess until our next county board meeting at 4:30, Tuesday, June 20th, at the McLeod County, Government Center. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. We'll give about a 5-minute break here at least, and then we'll begin with our workshop agenda. Thank you.
Are you going to the district meeting tomorrow?
Oh, should. And I'm a little buried.
No, and I don't blame you. I really don't.
Can we tell them?
Thanks for representing McLeod County at Sheldon's.
Yeah, hopefully we're okay. Who's that?
Was that what you want to do?